Hello, I'm Micks Mowers and welcome to my channel. Up for review today will be this HBS2 diesel heater, which has been sent to me free of charge via Banggood and from a company called Hcalory. The H stands for heater and the calorie is a measurement used for the heat. This is a standing diesel heater, which is safe to use with diesel cars, new energy cars, trucks, indoors, RV tents, engineering vehicles, standard RVs or SUVs. A cheap and affordable way to heat a relatively small area, but I have my own diesel heaters here, which is from Hcalory, which I use to heat up my 20 by 10 foot workshop, and it does an amazing job. It's actually running in the background as we speak. I'm going to be unboxing this this diesel heater, showing you how to set it up, how to run it, all the features it's got, testing it all out, and then we'll also do a carbon monoxide test on it as well, and we'll also do a how hot does it get test as well with a heat gun. So let's get it out the box, get it all set up, show you what it does and doesn't do, and then we'll go from there. If it's your first time watching Micks Mowers and Merman, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be notified next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty, and let's get this Hcalory diesel heater from Banggood unboxed and all set up. All product codes for this type of heater and the horizontal one will be in the description. Any discount codes also find in the description and pinned comments as well. They have just literally dropped the price down from this. I was told this is just this morning. So a perfect time to release a video as they have just dropped the price. I will go through the pricing very, very shortly. Okay, let's get into the review. Opening our box up. Plenty of packaging I can see. Ooh, let's lift it out the box if I can. Oh my lord, that's well packaged. Can't get it out of the box. Out of the box it comes. I like the colour. Instantly like the colour, and we've also got a box of bits as well. Oh, and a user manual by the looks of it too. Cool. Let's put the packaging out the way. Ooh. And we'll get straight into it. So a nice little compact diesel heater. Comes with an LCD display screen. This is your heater blower, where the heat comes out from. Intake here looks to have a positive and negative terminal here that you can plug in. Although I'm not quite seeing where that goes. We'll have to have a look inside there in a minute. The terminals will be inside, so you have to probably take that off. Take this outer casing off to actually get inside there to look into there. You can't actually physically get into it without taking the screws out by the looks of it. Okay, it's got a DC mains port there on the bottom. This is where you've got your exhaust. Your exhaust is this one, and your air intake on this side here. And it looks to come out at a right angle as well. Very flat to the floor, so it's got some holes at the bottom here to put some legs on. Fuel tank on here and all. And it's got what looks to be, it says 5 litre max fuel tank. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 at the top, so you'd actually fill it up to the 80% is your 4 litre and 5 litre max. So we've got a 5 litre fuel tank. Comes with a fuel filter on top as well to filter out any debris. 2 carrying handles, and also comes with what looks to be a quick start guide key fob as well on there as well. So that looks pretty cool. So that's what it looks like face value. You've actually then got a user manual here. Diesel air car parking heater user manual. It looks to be in different languages, and it's 23 pages per language by the looks of it. English is the first language. It's got all the stuff you've come with it. All the panel controls, and also comes with a QR code here to set up the Hcalory app. All looks good. Let's get a pair of scissors, and we'll open up this little tiny box to see what goodies we got in here. Maybe they sent some sweets with it. That would have been nice. Never get any bag of sweets when you do a review. It'd be nice to have a little bag of sweets. Right, let's open this little box up. Let me reposition the camera and I'll come back to you. Right, so inside the box we have lots of different bits and pieces. We have a 90-degree right angle, looks to be for the exhaust. We have a plethora of brackets, Jubilee clips, nuts, bolts, bits and pieces there. We have an exhaust muffler. We have a 12-volt for battery operation. So if you want to hook a battery up to this or some kind of power bank, 12-volt battery power bank, you can do that. We also have an extension cable. So this is good because you can actually remove the LCD display screen on the other side. You can remove it and then extend the cord, so you can actually put this inside your RV or in your tent or wherever you're going to keep it. You can extend it so that when you have this set onto temperature mode, you can set your minimum and your maximum temperature, and then your diesel heater will cut in according to what temperature. So if you set it to 18, between sort of 12 and 18, it will cut off when it gets to 18, and once the temperature drops below 18, it will keep kicking in until you get to 18. If it goes below there, then obviously it cut in and out accordingly. So that's good. You've got your exhaust pipe. You've got your air intake large particle filter. There's no filter in here. It's just a particle blocker, in other words. So big leaves, that sort of stuff, it can't get sucked up into. For larger particles, it comes with a two bits of pipe. It comes with a hot air pipe out with a nice little directional end on it, which is quite nice to see. I wish they all came with this, but they don't. But it'd be nice just so you can swing it round and so you can change it. That looks to be about a 3-inch, I'd say, about a 3-inch hose. I'm just going to measure that just to make sure. I don't want to give wrong information out. Let's have a quick little look. Looks to be about 3 inches. Yeah, 3 inches. Yeah, so you've got a 3-inch in diameter hose there. That's for your hot air out. This is your air intake, and that should have a little tiny screw-on bit on there. So no need for a Jubilee clip onto that, but you can if you want to. And then the last thing in the box should be your 12-volt UK, because you're in the UK, which is your 240-volt down to 12-volt reducing device here. So you can plug this straight in off the mains if you want to do so. So just to reiterate, you can plug this into the mains. You can have it on a battery, like a standard car battery, or you can run it off of a one of these battery power bank style things as well. You can do that. It's got a plus and minus here, as I say, which you can plug into. I might have a little look inside it to see how you actually get in there to do that, because well, it'd be nice to see what actually is in there. So that's the bulk of it. First thing to do, I think, will be to put some legs on this bit of kit so we can get it up off the ground, and then we start to fit the exhaust. Right, so put a bit of rag down just so we don't scratch the surface of this piece of equipment. And we've got a load of legs here. And looking at this, they go around this way like that. So the little tiny slit is at the top. And the idea is then you screw them to it, and then you can then screw that to a boarding or whatever you want. Now the main purpose you've got these is to raise the diesel heater off the ground so that the exhaust and the air intake are not being crushed. So it is just a very, very simple question of putting on the 4 legs and screw them up, and then we can then have a look at the exhaust and the air intake. Let me get these legs screwed on and I'll come back to you in 2 ticks. Right, so legs are now on, so that's how it will sit off the ground, away from any obstruction. So that looks quite good. We now want to fit the exhaust on. So the exhaust will go away from the fuel line, obviously. Let me just show you that very quickly, because you don't want to get that confused. You You wouldn't have your exhaust on this one here because that's where your fuel line is, okay? You'd have it away from there. It would have been nice, guys, if they had just literally put a exhaust and air intake into there, because you don't want to get those two confused. So looking at the exhaust, it comes with this little tiny L-shaped bracket, which is quite nice. You don't have to put this on, but I think you should. So that will go onto there and just sit into there like that, and then it's got a little tiny clamp that fits onto that. So it's self-explanatory that this would actually go here. However, some people do make the mistake and don't have it on. Now, the only thing I'm not seeing, I don't think, is a Jubilee clip to go onto that. Now, that looks to be quite substantial, okay, with regards to how thick that is. I don't think that's actually designed to have a Jubilee clip on there. I think that's designed to sit just like that. Because how are you going to get the Jubilee clip onto there? Put that in, you're going to really struggle to get that onto that. Really struggle. I don't think they're supposed to have one on there. I just can't see how I'm going to get my little tiny fingers in there. You can get a little spanner on it maybe, but oh my God, you're going to be there. You're going to be there all night. Would have been nice to have a little tiny hole just drilled here that you could literally just go straight away through and just nick that up with a Jubilee clip. I might just leave that Jubilee clip on there, and there's physically nothing behind here to stop that. So it would have been nice just to have a little tiny hole just there. Just put a screwdriver straight in and nick that up. Then you want to get your air intake, and again, that go onto there, and that will just sit down. But again, we're going to have problems fitting this Jubilee clip onto there. Okay, now as doing reviews, I find it important that I'm honest. Okay, and if something just isn't quite right, then I just feel that I just have to be honest. So that will go onto there, and I would like to just put a Jubilee clip onto that. There's no way I can get my fingers in there. Absolutely no way. And as I say, there's physically nothing behind here at all. For no reason why do not put two holes there, just literally to do that. Okay, but it would have been nice just to have one hole there and one hole there. I may even put two holes in there myself, yeah. Just so I can just get a screwdriver in there and just do them two Jubilee clips up. They supply the Jubilee clips, but they don't supply the space to put it in. So it's not a negative, it's just a bit of fault would have helped. Right, so what I've actually done is actually drilled two small holes, one here and one here, just literally to ensure that these Jubilee clips can be done up. Because safety first, guys. I don't want to be having carbon monoxide poisoning. And just by putting those two very small holes in will ensure that there's no leaks. And they are very small holes, and that could have been done by the company. Just there and there. I will just give a little bit of paint around them just to stop them from rusting. But that now is on there and it's not going anywhere at all. So that would have been nice. I won't bang on about it. But that would have been a good little feature. Just put some little rubber bungs in there, would have been perfect. So so that's now your exhaust and your air intake now fitted, and then we want to now just put on the actual exhaust pipe itself, which can be a bit of a pickle in their own right because it's an extremely tight fit, and it will go on. I'm going to bend that exhaust out to a right angle. And you've got another Jubilee clip here, of which we want to put all the way down. So I do supply the Jubilee clips for the exhaust. Just want to supply space to actually do them up. So let me just nick that one up. Nice and snug, because we want to be trying to ensure there's no room for having leakages. The next thing to do will be to put the muffler on. Right, so next we're putting on the muffler. Just slides into there, quite easy, and then we're just going to nick this one up. It comes with a plethora of brackets as well, so you can screw it to a wall or anything like that if it's going to be more of a permanent fixture. But if you're going to be using it for like an RV, you probably wouldn't bolt it to anything, or you might have it bolted like a piece of wood, or as the Americans call it, lumber, so that you can just pick the whole thing up in one go. But you want to make sure that your exhaust is actually away from your air intake, and I think they supply brackets here for that reason. So I've just got to move this air intake out of the way, and there's a little bracket for that. Right, so with the exhaust now on in place, I have now fitted the air intake breather as well. I just put that to a bracket here. It doesn't look like there's actually a special hole for it to go, although this pipe does extend slightly. I could bring it up a little bit higher if I wanted to, and I may still do so yet, because the higher the better. So I may move it up to one of these brackets and one of these screw holes here in 2 ticks. So that is pretty much how the diesel heater looks when it's all set up and good to go. All the Jubilee clips have been done up nice and tight, and it's actually quite a smart looking unit, to be fair. It looks like a little weld, doesn't it? It looks like a little welding device, but yeah, it looks quite smart. I like the colour. Yeah, looks good. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to fill it up with diesel. I've got to download the app, which is done via the user manual. Now, as I say, I already have a Hcalory diesel heater already. Mine's busy working away, keeping me nice and warm inside my shed. So I already have the app. So what I'm hoping is I can just, you can scan the QR code here for Apple or Android. I'm hoping once I power this one up, my app should find this diesel heater. I'm going to turn my other diesel heater off at the main, so it shouldn't pick it up. And then I'll go through with you on the app setting, because this these diesel heaters have moved on slightly. There are quite a few more features now on these diesel heaters, which are pretty good. So here is a diesel heater now sort of finished up, what it looks like. That would be a standard setup, and then you can just box this in, mount it wherever you want to mount it, and do that sort of good stuff. But some of the specs, from what they're saying, the fuel efficiency has now been improved by 28% with a 5-litre fuel tank, which can give up to 10 hours of constant heating time, which is fantastic. It has indoor control and phase temperature settings with a 1.5 metre extended extension lead. As I said to you, that you can then set your temperature settings to what you want, and the machine will then cut in and out. It now has intelligent control, where you can use Bluetooth control, remote control, or the LCD display screen as well, so that's good. Phase temperature control is equipped with this automatic start-stop feature, which means it can monitor the ambient temperature in real time. Once the target temperature has been set, no supervision is needed. The heater will independently start and stop as and when the temperature is then set. The heater's also got main circuit board here, which will provide you with lots of protections to include reverse polarity problems, over voltage protection, overheating protection, all that sort of stuff, so you're fully protected. The diesel heater also is configured with a high altitude mode settings, which will optimize the fuel ratio, that the higher up you are, the leaner it'll run, the lower down, the richer it'll run, so it'll do that for you as well. So it's made of like a cast metal body with some plastics involved. It's got the blower outlet on this side here, as you can see, with the exhaust poking out, which is far enough away so it doesn't actually come in contact with any of the body, and the air intake is on this side here. Here's where your mains input is from. What I'm now going to do, I'm now going to set this thing up, power it up, and then going to show you how to prime the system, how to turn it on and off using the remote, how to use it via the app as well, all that sort of good stuff. So then that way you'll be fully educated on how to use this device, and more importantly, whether you're in an RV tent, whether you're tent camping, whether you're in your workshop, or wherever you are, this little diesel heater here could provide you with some fantastic cheap fuel to keep you nice and toasty warm. That's the benefit of these little diesel heaters. They're so cheap to run now, and now that they can set themselves automatically at different climates and different altitudes, so that's even better. So let me get some diesel, we're going to throw it in, grab an extension lead, and we'll power this little tiny puppy up. So one quick note to make is I just have removed the LCD display bracket and the actual LCD display, and you can just remove the power cord, and this would be where you'll take this apart to put your extension lead on to give another 1.5 meters to put this inside your RV or your tent or whatever, so you can use your temperature control. Took 2 seconds to do that, and if it's more of a permanent fixture, that'd be really benefit you. But where this is going, there's a possibility we might need to do that. So it's just a nice little feature to have. Okay, so with the power now turned on, first thing you want to do with this machine for the first initial fire up in its sort of life it has, or if you have problems with it, is you want to prime the system. Now this will have a little tiny pump inside which will go tick, 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 tick once it's being primed. And all you want to do is just hold these 2 buttons down, and then a little tiny green light will come on, this there, and then it will start to pump. Now you want to hold this down for about, I don't know, 30 seconds, no more than that, and this just gets the fuel from the tank to the pump. That's all it does. Now if you over prime it, what can happen is that the device will actually start to smoke, but it will clear, so just don't panic. So that should be about adequate for about 30 seconds. You let go of it and it will carry on for a second, and then it will stop on its own. There you go. So now that's done, you've got 2 options. You can just turn it on here and that will power the device up, or you can be really smart and you can use the on-off feature here, which you can then turn it up or down, or you can go onto the app. So let's have a quick look at the app and see what that does. Right, so hopefully I have no issue. So I'm going to go on to my Hcalory app. Here it is here, tick that, and now it will try and come up with, this is my original diesel heater that I use myself. So that's the 5028. I'm going to add a device, it's going to search, and there it is there, the 5677. That's come up. Whilst using the app, there you go. So we've got high plateau settings here. If you want to set to high plateau, but we're down on sea level just here, and you can put it in blow mode or heating mode. So this has got like a gear mode on it as well, where you can adjust it for what you need. So pretty much what we can now do, we can now turn this device on. It's on standby. Let's just change just a few of these settings. Unit settings, Celsius, because I'm in the UK. Bluetooth password, we change it later on, no problem. So now we should be good to go. Let's now turn this on. We're going to put it on heating mode. Activate device, cancel or confirm. We're going to confirm it. So it comes on to automatically number 4. I'm going to take it off of plateau setting, okay? So now what will happen is this device will now start to fire up, and you'll know that because you'll start to hear that tick, 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 tick noise, okay? It's in gear mode, which is what I said it would be in. There it is there. So it's all in gear mode, and it's all going to start working away. Now on the actual device itself, what you'll start to see is on the panel, you'll start to see cold air being drawn in, and then you'll start, when it starts to fire up, you'll then see this section here will go red, and then it'll start to blow out the hot air. In fact, the hot air is blowing out, it says. You can just see it flashing, but it needs to be in the chamber first. So this wants about 2 or 3 seconds just to kick in. Once it starts kicking in, I'll come back to you, and let me get my heat gun and my carbon monoxide tester. Right, so it is now on initial fire up. Now, the only one important thing just to note with these diesel heaters is for the first initial fire up, you may get some smoke, okay? That's because I have primed the machine ready for heating. So you do get some initial smoke, so don't panic. This is relatively normal, okay? It will clear as the machine revs up and starts to burn the fuel more efficiently, okay? So don't be put off by the smoke that may come out initially. There's lots of maintenance lubes going to these sort of machines that have to be burnt off initially, but once that's done, it'll burn fantastic. So it's just starting to rev up now. It's still on setting number 4. I will turn up to setting number 10 in a minute, and then we'll start to do a carbon monoxide test on it, make sure it's got no leaks, and test to see what sort of heat it's throwing out. Okay, so it's been about 30 seconds since I did the last clip, and the diesel heater is now starting to rev up. Okay, I haven't turned it up to setting number 10 yet, it's still on number 4, but the pump has started to slow down, and the revs has now, the RPMs of the motor have started to increase, which means now it's starting to burn as efficiently as it should do. If we just have a quick little check on the app, it will confirm everything I've just pretty much said. So on the app, where are we? Hcalory. It says it's on setting number 4. Let me just remove my screen cover. Setting number 4. It's not on high altitude mode. It's in the running gear mode. Okay. So what we can now do, that's now starting to burn lovely. It's saying it's 100 and where are we? So inside the body is 50 degrees C. That's red hot. Ambient temperature is 21 degrees. It's pulling 12 volts exactly, and I'm at about 140 feet on altitude. I'm going to now turn it up to setting number 10. The pump has already started to respond, and it's now starting to increase. So let's just run that just for 2 or 3 minutes. Still a bit more smoke coming off this exhaust pipe, just on the actual body, where it's burning all the oils off and what have you. So we'll let it burn just for a minute, and then I'll start to do some tests. Right, so it's been running for about another 2 or 3 minutes. Oh my Lord, that's lovely heat coming out of there. So let's just do some testing first, just to see what sort of heat we are getting out of this pump. And I'll do it in Celsius because that's where I am. I'm over here in the UK. So I can convert it for you, no problem at all. Let's just take it off the old perch and have a quick little look. So let's just turn this heat gun on, and we'll put it in front and pull the trigger, and that's showing 73, 80s, get right up inside there, Mick. 114, 101, if you're seeing that. That's red hot in there. Yeah, 100 odd degrees there. So for you that are in foreign lands, we'll change that over to Celsius, to Fahrenheit. 194 degrees Fahrenheit, 196, 197, 195 degrees Fahrenheit, that is in there. Change it back to centigrade. So the actual muffler is 46 degrees. Come along, 90s, 120, 140, 150, 160, 160 degrees. So that exhaust is absolutely red hot. You wouldn't want to be touching that right now. That's red hot. Let's just change it over to Fahrenheit for you foreigners. 110 on the muffler, 200, 160, 270, 300s, 320, 330s. Red hot right on that curve just there, 140 there, my God. So that's red hot, and that's pumping out some absolutely fantastic, cheap, affordable heat. You can literally put your hand there for about no more than 5 seconds, you've got to take it away. It's just too hot to put there. 195, 190 degrees Fahrenheit in there. My Lord, that's hot. Change that to Celsius. 90, 95s, 92s, 91s. Oh, it's too hot. 97s. I can't put my hand there. Literally can't put my hand there. So what I have also got is one of these, which is a Top Test carbon monoxide testing pen. Now this is mainly for joint inspection, which is ideal for this, because where you've got your Jubilee clips and what have you, we want to make sure you're getting no carbon monoxide leakages. Okay, so all you've got to do is just sort of turn this on, and you've got to wait for about 20 seconds. I'll come back when it's done. When it's done, I'll come back, and when it's finished calibrating itself, I'll come back to you. Right, so it's now done its calibration, and it's now ready to test. So you put it straight in front of the exhaust, and it'll go beep. There you go, it don't like it. That's saying get out, it's just too much, you're going to end up killing yourself. Yeah, put that in front of a duct where your hot air is coming out from. No carbon monoxide coming out of there at all. And it's actually that's how hot it is. Look, it's actually melting the end of my carbon monoxide tester. That's wicked. You can then test your joints. Nothing. Underneath where the exhaust is, nothing. So, just by my carbon monoxide tester melting, that proves how hot it is. It is red hot. You can extend this little tiny pipe here. That does come out, it does extend, and you can bend it to where you want it. Now that will be hot, okay, because it's quite close, but you can actually put your hand on that, but you wouldn't want to keep it there for very long. But you can extend that all the way out, and you can move your exhaust to another angle so it's out the way, so it's pretty much where you want it. I'd recommend having it just facing downhill slightly, just so you get no water in there in case it rains overnight or if it's there for extended periods of time. I quite like the feature of the fuel gauge on the side. It's up to about 40%, which is quite nice. You can then direct the end flume here to where you want it as well, so it can direct your heat for you. Quite like that. Fuel cap is absolutely fine. Air intake, you can move that to where you want it, but you want to make sure this part here is not blocked. So yeah, it's all looking good. Actually, it's a good bit of kit, to be fair. The pump, you do hear that pump. It is ticking, and I think the white noise that is supplied via the actual blower of the air does drown that pump out. I think you can get quieter pumps now, or you can mount that on a rubber bushing, which will silence that pump even more. It's been one of the biggest bugbears for this diesel heat is the noise of that pump. But it doesn't bother me because if you're freezing cold, you're getting heat, and that's the most important thing. All in all, a good little product. I like it. It's cheap, it's affordable, and easy to carry. Doesn't take up much space, and good to go. All product links will be in my description. Don't forget, guys. Now, we've done the turn it on via the app, haven't we? What we want to do is now turn it off. Now you can either turn it off by holding the power button, just push OK. It's on number 10, as you can see. Hold the power button down and turn it off, or you can turn it off via the key fob, or you can turn it up and down. So let's just turn it down, just to show the key fob actually working. So there you go. So I'm turning it down, number 8, number 7, number 6. So that all works. Or you can turn it off via the app. Now, what they do say is not to turn these things off directly off the mains, because they have a shutdown period, okay? Now, I have known some people to just turn them straight off, but that's them. But what I recommend you do is turn it off properly, because these do have not only do a shutting off period, but have a cooling down period. This machine likes to cool itself down. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn it off via the app, okay? So let me go into the Hcalory app. It says not connected, but it'll connect in a minute. There you go, it's connected now. So now we can now turn this device off. If I can remember how to do it, deactivate the device. Okay, so confirm. Now what it will say is now it says the device is shutting down. Do not power off this. Do not power off. This process lasts for a few minutes. Okay, so now it starts to cool down, and the pump has pretty much stopped, but that's not the end of the process. The process is that this will continue to blow out hot air until this fan here will pick up. So now it's shut down. You think it's finished, but it hasn't. This will now pick up again in about 30 seconds. Once it's done that, it will start to blow cool air, and that's it cooling down the chamber inside the diesel heater itself. Once that's then cooled down, you can then turn it off at the mains, and it will tell you when to do so, or it will just turn itself off. This LCD display will just turn itself off. So these want about 3 minutes to actually shut down, and once they have shut down, it's then safe to handle. Just remember, exhaust pipes are hot, so don't go touching them. Let it cool right down first, and then you can start to move it about to where you want it. But they take about 3 minutes to fire up, 3 minutes to cool down. That's a general rule of thumb. So anyway, there you go. There's my video on the Hcalory diesel heater. Other Hcalory diesel heaters are also available. This one's come from Banggood. and they have just dropped the price. So make sure you hit the links and hit up the old discount code if you want one of these. Winter's just around the corner, and if you are getting cold in your RV tent or in your workshop, you can even put these into your house. It's just starting to fire up again now, guys. Just starting to fire up again now, which is now starting to blow the cool air I'm on about. So it's getting rid of the hot air, okay? Getting rid of the hot air, and it's now starting to blow the cool air. You can actually convert these, and this is where this is going. This is going down to my brother-in-law's house. They're going to put it in a wooden box, make sure it's ventilated, and they're going to run it through a cat flap for cheap heat into their front room and lower part of the house. And this little tiny thing here should heat their house inside half an hour. Cheap, affordable heat. 5 litres of diesel costs you around about, what, £8, and it runs for 10 hours on full belt. So you can get 10 hours of heat for about £7 or £8. That's cheap. That's cheap. So, and you can turn it on and off as you like. And there's no big rev up with regards to like putting on your central heating, like over here in the UK, putting your boiler on, that sort of stuff. Quick, cheap, affordable heat. There you go. So all in all, good little product. It's sturdy. I like it, and I will get one. In fact, I've got one. I've got two, and I love my diesel heater. I love it because it means I can come down in the winter and keep nice and warm inside my workshop. That's why I like them so much. But yeah, they're good. They're coming a long way. So there you go. Quick little video for Micks Mowers and Mower Man over here on YouTube. Make sure you hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell, set your notifications to all. That way you'll be told next time I upload another video, and I look forward to you girls and guys next time Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, don't forget, much more importantly, take her easy.